எக்ஸலன்ட் கனெக்ஷன் கேட்க மாட்டேன். என்னோட இதில் தான் வருது, காலேஜ் இது வந்தால் தானே வரும். கனெக்ஷனு எப்போவும் நம்ம காலேஜில் போட்டால் புவர் கனெக்ஷன், லோ லேட்டன்சி எப்படி தான் காட்டும். என் மோடமில் வந்து கனெக்ட் பண்ணால் எக்ஸலன்ட் கனெக்ஷன் காட்டும்.
நீங்கள் இந்த மாடல் வந்துட்டு இது மட்டும் தான் கனெக்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க, சரியா?
கனெக்ட் ஆகட்டும். லிங்க்கில் நான் உள்ள என்ன உள்ள விட சொல்லு, அப்போ தான் இங்கே லைவ் ஓட முடியும். அது கனெக்ட் ஆனால் தானே லைவ் ஆகும். டேட்டா முடிஞ்சிருச்சா? மீட்டிங் ஃபுல்லாம்மா. என்னையெல்லாம் மீட்டிங் உள்ளதுன்னா நானும் எப்படி உள்ளே வரது? பிரவீன் அங்கே போய் சொல்லு, மீட்டிங் ஃபுல்லாக இருந்தால் அருண் சாருக்கு லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் கொடுக்க முடியாது, எப்படியாவது அவரை ஜாயின் பண்ண வைங்கன்னு சொல்லு. இரு ஜாயின் ஆகுது. அலோவ் பண்ண இல்லை, மீட்டிங் ஃபுல்லுன்னு என்னை ரிஜெக்ட் பண்ணுது. இரு ஒரு நிமிஷம், நான் ஏதாவது கேட்குறேன், மறுபடியும் அதே வந்ததுன்னா நீ போய் சொல்லு. ஸோ சொல்லிட்டு தான் வந்தேன், அதை வந்து டிஸ்கனெக்ட் ஆகும். அலோவ் பண்ண சொல்ல உள்ள. நான் இன்னும் ஆஸ்கிங் டு ஜாயின்லேயே நிற்கிது. இந்து மேம் லைவ் அங்கே ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஆக ஆரம்பிக்குது. இங்கே உள்ளத்தை இருக்கு, நைட்டு போய் உள்ளத்தை இருக்கு படம் போய் டவுன்லோட் ஜாலியாக மறுபடியும் அது வெளியவே போயிடுச்சு. என்ன ஏ வெளியே போகுது. டிஃபால்ட்டாக எனக்கு வெளியே தள்ளுது.
ஏன் அப்படி?
என்னன்னு தெரியலையே. ஸ்காலர்ஸ் பீங் ரெக்கார்டு. தி ஸ்கால் ஹாஸ் ரீச் மேக்ஸிமம் 100 பார்ட்டிசிபெண்ட்ஸு.
சொல்லிட்டு வரட்டுமா?
இரு 96 ஆயிருக்கு. அதனால நான் உள்ளே போயிட்டேன்.
ஜாயின்
தம்பி, அதுவே என்ன டிஃபால்ட்டாக வெளியே அனுப்புது பாரு.
100க்கு மேலே இருக்கீங்க.
ஆ
அப்போ என்ன பண்ணுறோம்?
இங்கே பாரு.
யாராச்சும் ஒருத்தர் வெளியே சொல்லட்டுமா?
இங்கத்தியா
ஏதாச்சும் ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டை
இப்போ 97 ப்ளஸ் இருக்குது.
மேக்ஸிமம் 100% யூ கேன் ஜாயின் சம்மன் ப்ளீஸ். யாராவது லீவ் ஆனால் சார் சொல்லிட்டு வரட்டுமா?
ஒரு 2-3 பேர்த்த வெளியே தூக்க சொல்லு. அப்போ தான் அருண் சார் உள்ளே வர முடியும், லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் போட முடியும்னு சொல்லு. பர் டிஸ்கனெக்ட் ஆகுது. சர்வர் எரரா? எந்த சர்வரோட எரர்? ஓகே இவங்க டிஸ்கனெக்ட் பண்ணலைன்னா அந்த ஏற்கனவே இருந்தவன் உள்ள வெளியே போனான்ல, அவன் ரீஜாயின் பண்ணால் என்னை வெளியே அனுப்பிச்சிருது. அவன் ஏற்கனவே 100ல் இருக்கான்ல, அதனால் அது என்ன பண்ணுதுன்னா, இப்போ பாருங்க, நான் ஜாயின் நவுன் கொடுத்து உள்ளே போயிட்டேன்னா
improve this decision making.
பேசுவேன்.
Vision of women lifetime intervention, women entrepreneurship, women employability, gender sensitization, community services. The roadmap of the center is as follows. The short-term goals are to develop the inner qualities, to express the ideology, enhance the cultural and global awareness. The midterm goals of the center is to adapt the changing environment, to achieve professional qualities, to enriching partner with others that serve the community. And the long-term goals are to achieve individual as well as the center goals, to take the center forward in which personal development plays an important role to lead the community. Now, let's take a glimpse of recent activities of the Nehru Center for Women Excellence. An awareness program on sexual harassment at workplace was organized on 23/1/2020 and Dr. K. Mangyakarasi, Assistant Professor, Department of Women's Studies, Bharathiar University, Coimbatore, was the resource person. It created awareness of the women community on sexual harassment at workplace. The center organized a webinar on cybersecurity on 17/2/2020. The resource person was Vijay Kumar, HOD, MCA from KIT Coimbatore. To recognize the inspirational women around us who are distinguished for their outstanding work within one of the fields, Nehru Women Excellence Award function was organized on 8/3/2020. And the resource persons were Dr. S. Vimala, former judge, Madras High Court, Chennai, Mr. S. P. Anvarasan, founder and managing trustee, Nallaram, Coimbatore, and Ms. J. Swarnalatha, founder and Swarga Foundation, Coimbatore. Through Women Excellence Award hopes to encourage more women to become more visible and not hide their potentials but showcase their skills and abilities to bring positive change in the world. This platform hankers to bring more gender balance and equity. The center conducted webinar on power of positive women during quarantine on 7/5/2020. Agnya Babu, founder, QB's Event Management, and the Lady Board Productions was the resource person of the day. It was organized with to spread positivity to lead their life during this pandemic period. One day awareness program on gender equity and women rights was conducted on 13/7/2020. Dr. K. Mangyakarasi, Assistant Professor, Department of Women's Studies, Bharathiar University, Coimbatore, was the resource person of the day. It was organized to make them to access resources and opportunities regardless of gender, including the economic participation and decision making. Nehru Center for Women Excellence organized awareness programs on scholarship schemes for girls in central, state, NGO, other organizations on 21/8/2020. B. Sumati, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Applications, Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore, was the resource person. It provided guidelines for assistance to the students from low income families to meet the exams while pursuing their higher studies. The center organized webinars on Corona Edirkum Arogya Unavugal on 26/8/2020. Mrs. Preetiya Bhaskar, researcher and writer, was the resource person. It created awareness. Thank you for the wonderful video. The theme of this Women International Summit is essential to the health of families, communities, and countries. The next generation needs to live lives they can truly enjoy. They can live lives they can truly enjoy.
In this regard, Negru Center for Women Excellence executes 5 days experts talk for the students and women of Negru Arts and Science College on various categories such as women equality, mental health and well-being, employability, entrepreneurship, women-specific legislation, POCSO. And this special occasion, we, the Negrus Women Excellence, feel much honored to have offered the ability to host this great event. The agenda of this event is as follows.
Management, Sinop University, Turkey will be addressing on the topic gender equality. Day 2, 2nd September 2021, Ms. Ikra Akhtar, LC International College for Women University, Pakistan, will be addressing on the topic gender equality. Day 3, 3rd September 2021, Associate Professor, Department of CSC, School of Enterprises and Technology, New Delhi, will be speaking on the topic. Day 4, 4th September 2021, Dr. Kids Foundation, Vice President of Future Corporation, United Kingdom, will be speaking on the topic entrepreneurship. Day 5, 5th September 2021, Dr. Saranya Jaikumar, Educational Psychologist, Child Rights Commission, Tamil Nadu, will be addressing on the topic legislation POCSO. Define success on your own terms, achieve it by your own rules, and build a life you're proud to live. On behalf of Nehru Center for Women Excellence, I request Dr. M. Kanagarat Madam, Director, Nehru Center for Women Excellence, to welcome the gathering.
Good morning to one and all. Today we have gathered here for the special occasion of inaugurating Women International Summit 2021. So the empowering women is essential to the health and social development of every family, communities and country as well. When the woman is empowered, she has sense of self-worth, she has right to determine her choices and right to access their opportunity and resources in and around the world. It should be possible for every woman to have a significant role in the society. Yes. So this International Women's Summit 2021 will be the great source for the women to upliftment them. It's not for others, it's for themselves. So with this note, I would like to welcome our pillar of our institute, Dr. B. Anirudhan sir, Principal, Nehru Arts and Science College, who is a backbone of all new ideas and fresh energy for sustainable development of women community, Nehru Arts and Science College, and others as well. Welcome you, sir.
I request Dr. M. Kanagaratnam Madam, Director, Negru Center for Women Excellence, to welcome Dr. B. Anirudhan Sir, Principal, Negru Arts and Science College, with a bouquet.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Rania Lambu, Global Educator, STEM Instructor, Greece, to address the gathering and cast the lights of her knowledge upon us. Her commitments and quantifiable for the students who want to be like her one day. I extend my hearty welcome to you, ma'am. Welcome you.
Now, I request Anirudhan Sir, Principal, Negru Arts and Science College, welcome Dr. Ranyalam for Global Education Instructor, Greece, with the bouquet.
Greetings from Greece.
Thank you, sir.
I extend my heartful welcome to the Controller of Examination, Dr. M. Maithili Gnanapriya, to occasion this gathering. Welcome you, ma'am. I extend my welcome to all the faculties of Nehru Arts and Science College who has extended all their support towards this event. Last but not least, I welcome all the faculties and students of Nehru Center for Women Excellence who have joined this platform to add radiance to this International Summit 2021. Once again, welcome you all. It's summit to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please light the lamp.
Now, CEO and Secretary, Nehru Group of Institutions, Dr. P. Krishna Kumar Sir is lighting the lamp.
Dr. B. Anirudhan Sir, Principal, Nehru Arts and College, is lighting the lamp. Now, M. Kanagaratnam Madam, Director, Nehru Center for Women Excellence, is lighting the lamp. Now, our Chief Guest, Tanya Lampo, Global Educator, STEM Instructor, is lighting the lamp. Now, Dr. K. Maithili Gnanapriya Ma'am, Controller of Examination, Nehru Arts and Science College, is lighting the lamp. Thank you all. If your action inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, you are a leader. Such a leader is our principal. Now I invite Dr. B. Anirudhan Sir to deliver the presidential address.
A wonderful morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, I feel I am empowered amidst all of you, be it a day for women across the world, but then having seen the profile of women empowerment and the leaders who have been ambitious in organizing events and contributing to the well-being of women across the world, I honestly feel empowered, and I'm very happy to be a part of this. At the outset, let me congratulate Dr. M. Kanakaratnam, Dean, School of Commerce, and Director, Women Empowerment Cell of Nehru Arts and Science College. And once again, a special welcome to Rania Lampo, Global Educator, STEM Instructor from Greece. I think Greece, it's early morning now. What's the time difference? I think it's morning now.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, okay. And all other women in this forum are Controller of Examinations, Dr. Maithili Gnanapriya. And in this college, most of the key positions are held by women, in fact, empowered women. And they do contribute a lot for the welfare of the children, especially the women folk. Have established this cell in a college like this in the southern part of India. It deals with a lot of international issues related to women welfare. So that is something noteworthy and amazing for a principal like me to look at it from a wider perspective under the able leadership of all the women or empowered women of this college. They would be able to handhold all the women in the college and in and around this college. This is situated in a village, and all the village women, or a good number of village women, are being risen up to a better standard of living, better outlook in the society, and better understanding about the global scenario where women have a lot of opportunities. And this 5-day summit is really amazing. It is going to contribute a lot to the students directly and the other people nearby indirectly. And having invited people from different countries, like you have from Greece, Rania Lampo is there, from Pakistan, there's an eminent women, and from UK, from different parts of the world, and India. So this is going to create a new milestone in terms of creating awareness about how women can be empowered without the help of men. See, that makes a lot of sense. Getting self empowered, or identifying my potential, and I'm able to raise to a different level because that I want to live a better life, or I want to lead a better life, and I want to lead the society. And this I can be replaced by every woman of the world. I wish all congratulations and thanks to all of you. And on behalf of the management, I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Rania Lampo for having accepted our invitation and having decided to grace this occasion. Thank you all so much. Stay well, stay safe, and stay connected. Thank you so much.
Read valuable address about women by the wonderful man. Thank you, sir.
To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. Now, I request Dr. K. Maithili Gnanapriya Madam, Controller of Examination, from Greece.
Good morning, all of you. I am a global educator, a STEM instructor. That means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics instructor, and an ICT teacher trainer in Greece. She has a postdoctorate graduate degree in London. She is also a passionate researcher on cognitive neurosciences and neuroeducation. Space company, and she is also working at the Greek Ministry of Education at the Directorate of Educational Technology and Innovation, where she writes STEM projects for Greek schools. She has been awarded many national and international prizes, so for 100 projects. She is a Global Teacher Award 2020 winner and a Global Teacher Prize finalist 2019. Recently, she has been selected as Global Icon 2020 Future in Passion Vista in business, featured in an Amazon Women a Chamber. She promotes STEM vision by introducing STEM in astronomy and physics projects and language teaching. She is the founder and international coordinator of many innovative international projects that focus on the United Nations Development Goals described in the 2030 Agenda. She is also an scientific books for kids. Furthermore, she is a social activist, a global peace ambassador, senior advisor of United Nations Peacekeepers Federal Council, and ambassador of Ecumenical Delphic Union. She is also a member of the Educational Committee of the Ecumenical Delphic Union in collaboration with Harvard University. She has received many humanitarian and peace awards from international humanitarian organizations. Madam is a Global Council member of Chartered Institute of Leadership, Education and Development, Country Chair of G100, Advisory Board member of the Asian African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, President International Arts Acts, Access to Human Rights International, Ladies of All Nations International, Lead Philippines of World Voice International, Edu World Voice, Academic Development for Global Leading Education, and Igniting Dreams of Young Minds Foundation, and member of the International Institute of Influencers. Madam is also an international executive member of Global Edu Leaders Forum, honorary ambassador of Charles Walters Society for Innovation and Research, education and ambassador, and member of International Organization of Educators and Researchers, ambassador of the National Education Policy 2020 of India, international advisor of South Asian Institute of Advanced Research and Development, Center for Peace, Advocacy and Sustainable Development, K-12 Digest Magazine, International Youth Society, Global Peace Councils, and a mentor of 100 Mentors platform. Moreover, she is an editorial board member of many journals. For this 5 days International Summit. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful chief guest introduction. It's a great pleasure to invite Ms. Rania Lamfo, Global Educator, STEM Instructor from Greece, for the inaugural address of Women International Summit 2021.
Very good morning to all participants. I'm very honored and very excited to participate in this so rich, resourceful, and meaningful conference. Today we're going to explore and discuss about different aspects of women empowerment, and we will try to cover issues related to gender equality as a component of social justice and as an engine for economic growth. We will address issues related to disabled women, to women migrants, and also the impact of the pandemic on women. May I share my presentation? Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it's important to achieve gender equality, guarantee the full implementation of existing human rights. We live in a world of growing inequality with prediction that 185 countries have gender equality embedded in signed nation of all forms of discrimination against women that one of founding members of the charter which speak of rights of men and women. So it is going to take probably another 100 years to close the economic and political gender gap, another years before women earn as much as are equally represented in the workplace. So it's important to achieve, we can see here the Convention of the Universal Human Rights, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the Beijing Platform for Action, the Cairo Program of Action, the Millennium Declaration, the outcome of the UN Conference on Sustainable Development, and all the conclusions of the Commission on the Status of Women. And this means that state and non-state actors, including international financial institutions, must respect the fundamental human rights principles of universality, indivisibility, interdependence, participation, accountability, equality, and non-discrimination. So states must ensure the progressive realization of human rights for all by using the maximum of their available resources. So far, women make up 23% of the world's parliament of heads of state and 6% of heads of government. They only hold 12% of board positions in businesses, 9% of executive officer positions, and 24% of senior management. The majority of women all over the world are in low level. So women need another dimension. enhancement of women's capacity for strategic choice and ability to support lives. Policy and focus on women, the division of paid and unpaid work, the whole provision for lives from men as well as the different backgrounds, racial, like come together that and how forms of discrimination and it is considered as in 1995 the basic human rights. And she adds that women must enjoy the right to participate fully in the social lives of the countries if we want freedom and democracy to thrive and ignore the success dreaming women's rights. It's interesting. Knowledge is an important component of government because women lack the necessary knowledge to defend workplace rights. That in the national organization, which is United Nations, each recommendation governments and the right working, especially women. For instance, we have conventions prohibiting night work for women, or have this problem of women with disability. And what is in Europe, we can see that this counts in the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development countries, women are more likely than men to be part-time and temporary employment. And in the poorest employment makes up to 50 to 75% of total non-cultural employment. Women are concentrated in formal work, both self-employed and wage. So women are more likely to be home-based or small to medium enterprise in specific goods, so they're more likely to be classified as unpaid family workers. And what are the constraints? The nature of constraints imposed by men are mostly institutionalized rather than individual. That means that we have one societal ideologies about gender different constraints, qualities in the distribution of valid resources. All this, of course, inequalities varies in different countries. The effect of other social inequalities in access to resources and opportunities. What's in the world of work now? It's interesting to conclusions. Gender differences in laws affect both developing and developed economies and women in all regions. Globally, 1 billion women are legally restricted from having the same choice of jobs as men. Women remain less likely to participate in the labor market than men around the world. Women are more likely to be unemployed than men and are overrepresented in informal and vulnerable employment. And of course, we all know that women are paid less than men and that they bear responsibility for unpaid care and domestic work. Women are still less likely to have access to social protection. They are less likely than men to have access to financial institutions, to have a bank account, and the digital divide also remains gendered because most of 4 billion people who are offline in rural areas, poorer areas, less educated, tend to be women and girls. Women are less likely to be entrepreneurs, although we have seen in the recent years many efforts of women to be entrepreneurs, many successful ones, and face more disadvantages starting business because there is a problem that women, they're less likely than men to find funding, to find loans. Women are constrained from achieving the highest leadership positions and a very important issue, violence and harassment in the world of work affects women regardless of age and status. So what would be the benefits of economic empowerment? Empowerment is essential to realizing women's rights and gender equality. Empowering women in the economy and the world of work also are related to Agenda 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development of the UN. And when more women work, economies grow. Increasing women's and girls' education attainment contributes to women's economic growth and more inclusive economic growth. And almost a third of women's employment globally is in agriculture, including forestry and fishing. Women farmers have significantly less access and control and ownership. Women and girls suffer most from the dearth of safely managed water and sanitation. And this is related to what we're going to see afterwards, that we hit hard from climate change. So environmental degradation and climate change have impacts more on women than women and girls are more likely to carry the burden of energy, experience the adverse effects of lack of affordable, reliable, and clean energy. So what are the factors according to the Development Progress Research Report, Women's Economic Empowerment 2016, the factors that enable and constrain women's economic empowerment are divided into 10 direct and underlying factors. Direct factors are individual or collectively. Underlying individual or collective factors, education, training, access to quality, decent care and work burdens, social protection, leadership. Underlying factors, legal, regulatory, policy framework, gender norms, discriminatory social norms, labor market characteristics. The the child care needs fraction industry. And organization has around 369 centers and reaches to care of 200,000 children in cities of India. That issue is women disadvantaged status major barrier. Weak rights to land, translating weak rights in relation to other natural resources, including water and forest produce. So we're talking about insecurity and inequalities in access to housing in case dies. Here we can see some examples. Most Latin American countries passed legal reforms to remove discriminatory clauses in codes. They modified land allocation laws and regulation, and there are similar movements in Africa and Asia. What about education? Hopefully, in recent years, There is a majority of countries that have achieved gender parity in education, the primary levels. But of course, there are still a lot to be done. According to Gallup, that's across 90 countries in sub-Sahara, discriminatory gender division, so the access of girls. So, in families that do not value education, girls are more likely to marry young and take on more domestic work. On the occasion of the rise of Taliban these days in Afghanistan, it's, I think, very important to mention Yousafzai, a Pakistani activist for female education and Nobel Prize laureate, inspiring role model. She's also the world's youngest Nobel Prize laureate. She's known for human rights advocacy, especially the education of women and children in northern Pakistan, where Pakistan had at times banned girls from attending Western countries school. Here is the issue of gender-based violence, applications. Public commission of gender-based to repeal laws that prevent on the term reporting gender-based violence, taking measures to prevent and provide protection support services to victims. It was founded in 2021. Global Me Too movement against sexual abuse. Movement became global. It was acted 2013 mandates employers to take steps to protect from sexual harassment in the workplace and to provide procedures for resolution, settlement, or prosecution. And this widened the definition of the workplace and covered the informal sector, including domestic workers, because it protects all workers in any place. Child ex-child sex slave for 2 years in Cambodia, who now uses her traumatic past to save other young women and girls entrapped in the same situation. Cinnamon Voices for Change with for a foundation that offers compassion, empathy, and the chance for rehabilitation into society for those victimized. And issue fully microcredit programs have expanded exist because ability, libraries. In this case, we have today over 7,000 microfinance is actually related to work. They constitute approximately half of 28 million migrants who live and work outside their countries. And despite gender inequality in the labor market, the gender wage gaps, these migrant workers are responsible for sending remittance worldwide. So research has shown that women migrant workers are often meant to remit on a regular basis. Although many migrant women are highly skilled for the labor market. The main sectors in which women migrant workers are employed are services and retail, professionals, clerks, and domestic workers. Another group of women protection and women with disabilities and health that need to be addressed with considerations quality. Here we can see the example of the Illinois saying picture guides are a good example of picture guides that can increase gender-based accessibility. And this collection guides women with disabilities to better understand sexual comprehensive sexual examination process, sexual relationship. As a UNICEF has successfully utilized technology to spread information and empower young persons from using U-Report in Uganda. U-Report is a free SMS social media tool designed to engage users into the care about. We also have the commission to strengthen examples, etc. So, what could be the recommendation? Accessible emergency medical care, ensure that women girls with disabilities have medical information and unbiased counseling for the availability of emergency contraception. Tailor GVD prevention strategies to specific vulnerabilities. Develop support and engage organizations led by young persons with disabilities and peer support groups. Foster emotional support during pregnancy with women with disabilities accompanied by of their. What are now the general recommendations? We talked about women empowerment and all this problem base, and later we'll go to pandemic. What are generation? Because this provides an opportunity further finance and about increasing resources, but funding must be delivered in ways by complex outcome how women's lives are changed. And another important thing is the views, because this will help understand and measure progress and will require significant monitoring and collecting appropriate data. So we need to enact policies to overcome women's unequal access to economic opportunities and formal employment, including promoting equal pay, combating gender labor, market segregation, shifting tax structures, providing incentives for employers, enforcing labor rights, prohibiting sexual harassment, valuing and restricting unpaid work, ensuring full employment, decent work, and a living wage for all. Promote the citizen processes that monitor the implementation of policies and programs and projects on gender issues, strengthen of women in leadership space, decision-making, political representation. Business need women leaders in leadership positions, and women have proved that they can be leaders and they can be very good. This is design campaign, educational materials that promote reflection on gender stereotypes that motivate society, and the messages all these messages of gender discriminations. Promote the recognition of women practice of collaborative work between community-based organizations and government entities. Network is very the alliance between organizations, actions, and support initiatives of course. Now, what happened during the COVID pandemic? In general, to make matters worse, the COVID pandemic had even more financial of many women around the world. More than this is the case, for instance, problem women then was modest. The Ministry million was in in sectors like women, in fact, on the so now we look at some mothers have considered mothers are more thinking about this and are less likely supported at work. Women who really enjoy the same privilege as other race groups in social advantage. Women are facing huge harassment. The COVID crisis, black people, and incidents of violence in the state to say what pandemic is really that show how domestic violence has increased. Increased for domestic violence murders. To have more opportunities, first companies make sustainable. You know, way is new norms can promote of work will open up opportunities for employees, particularly mothers and with disabilities. Employees will be able to that previously relocate or travel extensively or long. A perform part of the women steps to minimize genders, to mitigate the biases against the COVID pandemic. We need to adjust communication with employees is critical, especially in practice, and that's very important. Very interesting research shows that how women in developing countries are more reliant on natural resources and are more vulnerable to change. So why? Because women face a heavier burden of domestic work as a result of resource shortages caused by climate change. They are made to walk longer distances to fetch these resources. A major result of these include issues, including harassment. This increased work may result in families who help out. And crop failure as a result, people may result in selective malnutrition. This, of course, has implicated many women and care. What could be these tracks have centers of infrastructure-based integration that has now a shift towards a approach with it such as poverty, lack of education, gender. So women and men use a wide range of climate change, which are highly gendered. For instance, men opt to migrate or travel to towns or cities to earn money. And this option is open to women because of the social norms that tie them to the home. So women may instead opt to increase day laboring in the nearby villages or towns or change the pattern of farming and crops. So there is a further need to look at the socioeconomic relations to fully understand climate change impact and adaptation strategies. Another issue is how gender equality is related to energy infrastructure. For instance, several projects shed light on how potential social impact and social sustainability issues have been increasingly incorporated into project design in energy. In India, we have which tries to women to acquire institutes. And also we have self-employment association organization for force employed women based in India. So other projects in Morocco, projects including welding for women, weaving, knitting, embroidery for women. Initiate also a partnership agreement with the project. Also forgot to say, during the COVID pandemic were implemented in Thailand and Asia for women and the right to boost females in order to recover and be more resilient the COVID pandemic. In Nepal, we have a project has helped empower local women. And this means that we need to change gender norms. We need more rigorous documented data, including empirical evidence on how projects can change gender norms, the role of the energy utility. And beyond all the impacts, energy infrastructure project can influence gender norms through gender-sensitive investments in well-designed infrastructure and other local area development activities. So there has been, of course, a significant progress towards including gender considerations in electricity and infrastructure projects. And all this was actually implemented thanks to the efforts of the World Bank and other multilateral development governments and local organizations. Personally, I am founder of many international humanitarian projects that are focused on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. My recent program is called Gender-Based Violence, Why Peace is a Much Better Option. It is actually a project that is inspired by high rates of Nigeria there. So I decided to write a program for students of 11 to 13 years